Hello, guys. Welcome to a new Ace Eyes podcast, and today I am joined with Ben. How are you, Ben?
I'm fine, Max. Thanks. How about you?
Good. So this is the third episode, um, and today we're going to talk a bit about an update for Ace Eyes, and what we are going to do in the future, at least for the next coming few months and days, weeks. Um, so let's talk a bit about a small update first. Um, we reached our Kickstarter goal from like 200 euros, 210 euros,
220. 220.
220.
Yeah,
Okay.
220 what it was. Yeah, it was 220.
So that was successful, the campaign. So we are really grateful for that. Everything is going into equipment, new equipment for the studio, microphones,
Booze, yeah,
booze,
alcohol,
strippers. Yeah.
strip club.
No,
Yeah,
we're
just imagine that you get an email from us saying, yeah. So we were going to buy equipment, yeah, and then a picture with it when you're sitting with two hookers on your lap.
we could spend it like on a Todd Howard cardboard print,
Oh yeah,
like a life size Todd
I would be a
Howard.
fan. I would be a
It
fan.
would. I don't know how long he is in real life, but I
Ev-
think
ev-
he's
ev-
pretty
ev-
small.
yeah, everything involving Todd Howard is great in my opinion. So sure, why not?
Yeah, but his real size, like how tall he is.
I will take a quick look.
I don't think
He
he's
is
that tall.
he is 1 meter 68. So he's like
He's
as small as me.
he's smaller than us. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not
So
very tall.
that would be a small cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be maybe if we ever like do a podcast with video in the future, like if you would have a set, it would be like a nice background thing to have
Yeah.
him in the background.
Yeah, for sure. Let's buy Todd Howard. Not Todd Howard real life. That would be that would be abduction. But a cardboard from him. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So don't worry, we're not going to spend the money on hookers and,
We don't
and
know yet.
yeah, it's all going to the right places to upgrading our equipment. We still have to see which equipment we're going to buy. We're going to maybe after the podcast look up what's like most affordable for the most quality we can get for our money. So stay tuned for that. That will be for the coming future.
Todd Howard casual cardboard cutout, 30 euros. Yes. Put it in my basket. Let's go.
We also we gave the rewards, most Kickstarter rewards except for the thank you video, because it's Corona, the COVID-19 virus is bigger here in Europe again, and I'm not able
Wouldn't be.
to
Yeah.
see Ben that easy. We wanted to make a sketch for the video.
And we will. I mean, we will eventually when the virus has lain down a little bit. But it would be irresponsible now for us
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, it's irresponsible. So that we'll have to do at a later time. But we did send Discord links normally to everyone.
Normally, yeah.
I only think like one dude joined and that's it, right?
Yeah, but I know, but others will join eventually. I know someone will. But I just think he forgot, so I will send him another message saying you can join the Discord server. But we were planning on opening the Discord server for other people as well. This is not saying that this will be the same for people who pledged and people who just join random. So the people who pledged, who gave money, will still receive their benefits. So
They have like a special channel on the Discord.
yeah, they have a special
Yeah.
channel. They have a separate role. They have separate things they can do. Like they can send us a message saying, "I would be interested in covering this or that," and then we will take a look at it and make a video about it or an article about it. So this is not for everyone because, yeah, okay, now maybe we don't have a lot of people actually in the Discord server, but just imagine when you have like 1,000 different people in your Discord server, and you say to everyone, yeah, you can send us suggestions about games or something. Then we need to cover all those 1,000 independent games. So
we're not going to do that. We're just going to maybe make a poll, and the biggest games, that percentage, like gets the most, the game that gets the most votes, we're going to take a look at that. We're not going to, do every game out there. That would be impossible for the two of us.
Yeah, we're just the two of us. Yeah, we were three. I mean, there was one. We have one person who tests games as well, but yet again, that would be a lot of time.
Yeah. So those are out. I also made a YouTube video for my own audience that I have, the very 1%.
the full 6 people.
The full 6 people that will see my YouTube video. Maybe some of my subscribers will see it and go to Ace Ice, so there's maybe some cross content as well. I said in my video that I will keep making content for my private YouTube channel as well, especially when it comes to the Game of the Year videos. I always did every year a top 10 video, and I want to continue that tradition because I really also love to make those, even if it's just for me and no one watches it. It's like an archive or something like that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, sure. And I mean, I'm a true subscriber to you. I watch every video you make, and it's actually quite fun to see how much effort you put into them.
It's just it's almost like my own library. If I like want to see like, oh, which game was like on this place 2 years ago, I can just click on my own video and watch that back. So it's not only content for my subscribers, but it's also a little bit of content for myself, which is maybe sounds weird, but yeah.
Yeah, but your YouTube channel actually had a period when it was quite successful. I mean, you had a couple of thousands of views on every video you made. So, I mean, yeah, why not? It would be a shame to let it just vanish without, anything, to say it like that.
Yeah, I should be more consistent with uploads, and that's my downfall. Let's say I don't really have a lot of time on my hands with school, and if I would be more consistent, maybe I would get some more views, and I need to do that for Ace Ice. Yeah, we need to do that as well. To make Ace Ice something good.
To make it something good, you need to put a lot of time and effort into that. Now, with the coronavirus being a pain in the ass again, it's a coin with two sides. On one side, it's how do we need to say it? It defies us making content that we want to make when it comes to sketches and things that we need to be in person with each other. But on the other hand, like with school shutting down eventually, because it will happen again, one way or another.
We are already at the highest threat that we have in Belgium, the threat or something like that. Yeah,
we have school at home. So on the other side of the coin is that we actually do have more time now to make content. So. Yeah, you're right, Max. We really need to be more consistent in making our content and uploading our content, but this is something that will happen eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, So that's like a small update for A size that we have now. I also wanted to talk about in the few weeks, months that are going to come with new game releases, especially in November and December, what we are going to do, our schedule, and the reviews we are going to do. Um, I am pretty sure, Ben, that you are going to do Assassin's Creed, right? Valhalla.
Yeah, yeah. I will be covering that. Yeah.
On Xbox Series X, then I presume, or still on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I'm doubting a little bit. Because eventually I will buy the PlayStation 5 as well, and I I actually also want to play it on the PlayStation 5.
You could do it on Xbox Series X. I think it launches the same day, both the game and the console.
Yeah, maybe that's the better of it. That I will play it on the Xbox series, because if I have to wait for the PlayStation, yeah, you can buy it on PlayStation 4. There isn't much quality difference, I think, in the past gen versus next gen version of Assassin's Creed. Is it? Yeah, maybe faster loading times, but
I think faster loading times. I think 4K 60 frames a second with tracing. I presume. Maybe no. I think with ray tracing maybe 30 FPS, and without ray tracing 60.
Yeah. That's possible. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea if you buy it on Xbox, because I am also going to play the game for myself, and I'm going to play it on PlayStation 4. So maybe then we have like two perspectives.
Yeah, comparison. Yeah.
On my perspective being current gen and yours already next gen, and then we can like see the benefits of the two, and I could help you a bit on that review.
Yeah, sure. No, that's actually quite a good idea. Yeah. And what are your plans for the next few weeks, days?
So I saw today that there are reviews for Yakuza 7, and I'm going to review that. That's going to happen, and that's releasing on the same day as Assassin's Creed, which is the 10th of November. So those two reviews of us are going probably to be around the same time.
Yeah.
But
depending on the game length, of course.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed is a bit longer with all the side quests that you need to do. I believe Yakuza 7 is around 35 hours for the main story. So I think in like 2 weeks I have the review ready to go. Maybe even faster than that if I have my school at home. But I'm also at the moment playing Fallout New Vegas. I wanted to play an older game because, there aren't a lot of new releases. They are now going to happen in November. At first I wanted to do Watch Dogs Legion, but Watch Dogs Legion didn't really turn out too great, if I have to believe the reviews at least, and the user score as well. I already had that. I fucking knew it, that the story would not be good because of the fact that you can recruit every NPC in the world.
Yeah, there are choices that they had to make whilst developing the game.
You can't make a good story if every NPC is like recruitable, because you won't have an attachment to that character right away.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was doubtful from the beginning when I heard the concept. Not saying that the game could not be fun, because actually people that I personally know that play the game said that gameplay-wise the game is fun, because you have such a big range of of freedom when it comes to gameplay, as it comes to game aspects, as it comes to recruiting NPCs and their stories on how to recruit them and so forth. But it's it doesn't make up for the story side for the game being so shallow, being not really shallow, because it has a story with DedSec and with the
DedSec,
with the government, with the government,
yeah.
yeah. So it's the same story as with the with the two previous Watch Dogs games.
Yeah, at least in the previous Watch Dogs games, you had, of course, established main character, and I believe, like, what was his name in Watch Dogs 2? His name was Marcus, the black protagonist. I thought he was pretty well done for what I when I played the game. But I will probably buy it as well, but not at full price. I'm going to wait until it's like $20 or something.
Yeah, but I mean, Ubisoft games, and especially the Watch Dogs series, the prices of them do drop eventually. I mean,
yeah, they drop pretty fast, I think.
Yeah, so they do not stay at full price for another 4 months, I think. Maybe this in the holidays you can get them for $30 or $40 if you're that interested.
I can't promise anything, but if Watch Dogs Legion does get a price drop very fast, as in like within 2 months, I may be reviewing that still for Ace Ice. But for now, on full price, I'm not going to give my money for that.
So yeah, I can't blame you on that.
Yeah, it's a bit sad, because I did like, Watch Dogs 2. Even like Watch Dogs 1 wasn't that bad. I enjoyed the first game as well. It wasn't like ground shattering, or like it wasn't a 10 out of 10 game, but I did have fun with it.
The game had just too big of a hype when it got announced, with the incredible E3 trailer, with the incredible E3 gameplay. That was actually the death stamp for the game, for the first Watch Dogs game.
Ubisoft was known back then for the fake E3 trailers with the graphics presentation on the highest PC settings that's not going to run on a PlayStation 4, and at that time it was still also for Xbox 360 for the last gen,
with its restrictions.
Yeah, but the game was still, in my opinion, good. It
was okay. It just didn't have a big story, a big storyline.
There was some good elements, though, in my opinion, in that story. It's just not like a 9 out of 10. Even I would still give it an 8.5 or something, or an 8. I did enjoy like the story that was there and the gameplay as well.
Yeah, maybe it's just something personal for me that I think that the concept of the Watch Dogs games is quite good, but yeah, I just think Ubisoft can do so much more with it than they actually do every single time.
They have to get better writers. I'm saying this now for years, and they don't do it. I don't know why. They are so afraid of making political statements in their stories. Look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is fully political.
Cyberpunk just gives a big middle finger to everything, and that's the difference.
But when you look at the world of Cyberpunk, that's all political, Ben. You have corporations trying to be in power and making use of the common people,
Okay, then tell me, what's the difference with Watch Dogs 3? You have this corrupt government that tries to repress the people. You see.
Look, no, let me explain. What Ubisoft is afraid to hurt someone's feelings on on a political agenda. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be far right or far left, but because there's no passion in the, it doesn't need to be a political storyline, but because there's no passion in what they write, it's all comes very like factory level of writing. It needs to fit in every box, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
And that's wrong, in my opinion.
They need to take a little bit more of a risk when it comes to story writing.
Risks. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to hurt someone's feelings, because believe me, Cyberpunk, it hasn't released yet, and it quote unquote hurts a lot of people's feelings. Yet they will probably be one of the best selling games of the year. So why be such a pussy and just just write the goddamn story the way it's supposed to be?
I hope in the future that Ubisoft does something for that. Well, but we are getting off topic. We were talking about the schedule. So I'm going to play Yakuza 7 and review that. And I'm going to do Cyberpunk in December when that comes out. There is also another game for the Nintendo Switch, which is the prequel of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I did play it. There's a demo for it, and that it's pretty good when it comes to gameplay. So I might review that as well. So
yeah, sure.
That might be coming as well. And then, what I was saying, I was playing Fallout New Vegas because there was nothing out. And this is the first time playing Fallout New Vegas. Do you know, Ben, how... I love this game, by the way. I think this is the best Fallout game I've played so far.
Yeah?
Yes.
Better than
4. And
4
3.
was quite good. Oh, okay.
And 3 as well. Most of the time when you ask a Fallout fan, like, what is your favorite Fallout, they will most of the time say New Vegas or 3.
But why? I mean, I never played these games, but why?
Well, 3 is, from what I've played, I haven't played a lot of the 3, but 3 is very dark in its atmosphere. And New Vegas, from what I've played, is just very deep. There are a lot of characters and RPG choices, and there are so many there are so many goddamn factions in that game. You have the 4 casino factions, because it's in a parody of Las Vegas with all the casinos. And every casino is like a mafia mob. And you have then the NCR, which is like a military faction, and you have the Legion, which is like a tribal faction that is based on Italian Rome with Caesar.
Ah, yeah. Isn't it the Caesar's Legion or something?
Something like that. Yes. And it's totally based on the faction is totally based on like Rome back then with Caesar. And you have even more small factions. You have, of course, the Brotherhood of Steel. That's a pretty big faction in the Fallout lore. And you also have the Boomers.
What?
They aren't old people, but
so all Karens.
No, they are basically an isolated group that have a military airstrip with like these long-range cannons that they can fire, and they basically boom, as in like kaboom, everything around them. When someone tries to come near their town, they will shoot on sight. And there's a little like I don't want to call it a mini game, but to get to their town, to avoid the the missiles. It's pretty cool. And there's also like another faction, the White Gloves, I think that the name is. They are busy with a lot of science, and they feel if they are like better than everybody else. And then there are like the Great Khans, which is an part of New Vegas. There are so many factions in this game, and you can take either side or betray someone. It's a really deep game, and this game was made in 1 to 2 years. That's incredible.
So they tried to do the same with 76, but but it failed miserably. What they did with Fallout New Vegas.
Well, New Vegas is a single-player game. It's made by it's made by Obsidian, not Bethesda themselves.
Okay, yeah, that's something else.
That's really the funniest thing. The best Fallout game is not even by Bethesda Game Studios. That's really funny.
Was 3 well made by
3 was made by
Bethesda?
By Bethesda themselves, yeah.
Hmm.
But what I was saying, so I'm playing this game on PC, and this game is so buggy. It's buggier than Skyrim.
Skyrim was buggy as hell.
I had I had to install mods to not break it. Every hour when I was playing this game, I had a crash or a bug that they would go through the floor. And it's on the same engine, of course. That the engine is just the creation engine just needs to go. I'm sorry, it's
no, Max. They're just updating it. They're not making a new engine. They're just updating it.
If you want to play Fallout New Vegas on a new system with Windows 10 and like a lot of RAM memory, you will need to do the following things, because I needed to do it as well. You have to install a mod that prevents crashes. You will have to install a mod that will use 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 2, because that was a big problem with the original Skyrim as well. The original Skyrim only used 2 gigs of RAM. If you had a lot of RAM in your system, because the game is tied, the FPS is tied to how fast the game runs, not just loading times, but the physics. So if I was playing on a 120 hertz screen and my in-game character would walk faster, isn't that weird?
Wait, what?
So basically, how fast you walk is tied to the FPS.
That's one of the strangest things that I've ever heard.
It exactly is one of the strangest things ever. But it's a thing with all the Bethesda games, even Skyrim. So that's why Skyrim Special Edition has a FPS limiter to 60. Never disable
the lock on the FPS
lock, because it will fuck up your game. I had this with Fallout New Vegas. I now have an FPS limiter and everything is fine. The game runs smoothly.
Then I just do not understand that when I read articles about the Elder Scrolls 6, okay, we do not have a lot of information about it, but there was one article saying clearly that they will be using the same engine as they used for the Elder Scrolls 5, but they just, they will make some adjustments.
Well, they did say for what was it, for Starfield, that they will also use a new animation system, which I think they will probably going to fix this like walking faster and physics system, but it's based in the old games when your FPS is higher.
Okay, Banks, but just let's be honest. Is the animation and the FPS, are those the only bugs that the previous Elder Scrolls games and the previous Fallout games had? No, they just need to have another fucking engine. Because, sorry, Todd Howard, it doesn't just work anymore.
I see. I'm already seeing him in my head. Very sad about it.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I still love him though. He is a good developer. He's just he overpromises things, and he should be more realistic when he presents something.
It's Todd Howard. We can't be mad at Todd Howard, even if he tells the biggest lie that the Elder Scrolls 6 will release next year and it will release in 2025. We can't be angry at him because he is the one and only Todd Howard.
Yeah, so Fallout New Vegas is a great game. It's just very buggy. So if you ever want to play it on PC, look up those things I mentioned here.
Holy shit, we're really going off track.
Yeah,
with this podcast.
So that's what we have now for the future. Is Devilish Ace going to do something VR related?
No, he is. I was talking with him a few days ago, and we were talking about Cyberpunk, and I was talking about that you were going to play it, I was going to play it, he was going to play it, and then for Ace Eyes that we all three will start in a different what was it called again?
Wait, which game?
Cyberpunk.
Oh yes, also go. Yeah, of course he's also going to do that.
Yeah. So that we all three are going to take a different starting position. Yeah.
I am very interested to start with the Nomad, because that you're starting outside of the city then.
I was going to start as the corporate because the tech side looked me quite interesting, and
I actually want to keep the corporate for my last playthrough because it's just a cool idea that you start outside of the city and then you have to make your way in. I don't know. It sounds cool to me.
I'm quite interested in maybe taking a look at how I can betray the corporate.
Yeah.
And maybe it would be so cool if that's possible.
You will have special speech checks when you choose the corporate path. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. And
then the Devilish Ace will be. I thought he said playing. What was the third one? Then? Yeah, with the race cars. No, those were not with the race cars. Those were no. You had these street races that I saw.
Yeah, but I think the street races are just
for the
They are just like a feature after the starting point. I think what I know from the Street Kids side is that you start off in a club and you have to steal a car, from what I know, a very expensive car, and that's how you also meet Jackie, the buffed up companion, Latino companion. Yeah,
really excited for it, but I'll leave it for when the moment's right.
Well, we can talk about that now if you want. Because we are done with the schedule, right? That's all we wanted to say.
Is this video age restricted?
Nah. No, you can say what you want. We aren't making any money anyway. The
Okay,
Cyberpunk delay.
you know, 2 days before they announced that the game was delayed, I was talking with a friend of mine about the game, and they were like, "No way in hell that they will delay it again," because I was laughing about the fact that just imagine when we will get this yellow box again with Cyberpunk on the top, and then saying it gets delayed, blah 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 blah. They were like, "No, no, no! There's no way possible. There's no way possible. It has gone gold. It has gone gold." And then I was talking with the Devilish Ace about it, and he was like, "Yeah, but what if they will delay it again?" So I was like, "Yeah, but they already went gold, so the game is finished. So there would be no reason why they would delay it again." And 2 fucking days later, 2 fucking days later, they had the fucking balls to delay the fucking game for the how many time? Is this the 5th time? I just lost my fucking count.
It's let me count. August to September to November. Fourth
April?
time. Fourth
There was
time.
also April.
The first release was in April. Then it got delayed for the first time to September. The second time to November, and now the third time to December.
Is it only delayed 3 times?
The initial first release is April, and that was delayed until September.
Yeah. And then September, okay, November, and then.
So this is the 4th release date.
Are they embarrassed? I mean,
let me say something. You were talking about this gold thing, you know. I am pretty well known in this industry. I know a lot of things, and normally this never happens. If a game goes gold, the game is fucking done. This is very rare that this happens. Most of the time, if a game is gold and it gets delayed, it's like maybe shipping issues or something like that. Something that has not to do with the development. If a game is gold, you can look up the definition as well on Google. It means the gold master is done and that they can ship the game to the stores. Normally this is not like a normal thing. So there has to be like something really bad going on.
okay, now I do understand what you're saying, and that this is very rare, but why does it need to be with Cyberpunk? I mean,
maybe because it's so ambitious maybe.
Yeah, okay, I do understand as well, but business wise, and then let's not talk about games and the fans and the expectations of it, but business wise, their stock market has dropped 25% in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not a good decision for business wise, no.
Or 2 weeks, what am I saying? Yeah, since they announced that that they will delay the game, 25%.
Well, it also dropped. I want to add something. It also dropped 25% because of the crunch news. Next to that, so it's not only because of the delay, but
okay.
you know,
Sure.
everything together, all the little things adds to that 25% in drop
it
in
adds
stock.
up. I just don't. My mind can just when you the amount of posts that I saw from the community manager, and you told me that the community manager is the last person who gets to know when the game gets late. Yeah, for sure. But just realize 2 days before it got delayed, there was a message from Cyberpunk's community manager saying
1 day before. 1 day before.
1 day before, it will not be delayed again. The game is done.
You mean like the official Cyberpunk Twitter page?
Yeah.
Or do you mean a developer? I think you mean the official.
The official page. So probably controlled by the community manager.
Yeah, that's always the PR. The PR management gets the news the latest.
But
it's there is a big communication problem there. I don't know why this happens. There are even like developers that didn't know it would be delayed. I read that on Reddit.
Uh,
There has to be some kind of problem there with
yeah,
communication.
but so the reason why it got delayed was because there were problems with the
current gen.
current gen version of the game. So the next gen version of the game is finished.
I find this really weird.
But that's
The current
strange.
version, the current gen version has to work. Otherwise, they have no need to say that it's gold if the current version doesn't work, right? Because they said a few weeks ago that the next gen version would come later.
Yeah, so why even bother saying that the game's gold and that the release date is still set for November?
Yeah, that's really weird. That might be that's a mistake on their part. I don't know why they said that. That's really strange.
Oh, I really looked forward to the game. I was really hyped, like November with the new console releases, an Assassin's Creed that seems fun this time. Not saying that the previous ones were not fun, but this setting appeases me the most.
Yeah,
And then with
Vikings.
Cyberpunk, I mean, and then you sent me that message saying, "Yo, take a look at this," and I was the first sentences I thought, bro, this is just a joke. This can't be real.
Actually 2 months ago I sent it to you like a joke one. I
yeah,
think.
so I thought like, yeah, okay, funny, you did it again this time, but you were like, no, I'm that serious. It got late, so I went to Twitter and I went, oh no, I just don't understand.
Well, what do you think the problem is then that they need to delay it?
That there is something. Yeah, not saying bug fixes because they had enough time for bug fixing, but there were.
Do you think it's a bug thing or maybe like
game mechanic? No,
frame?
no, I think it's still the game mechanic. I think that there was this that the reason why it got delayed a previous time was because they were not a big fan of the combat system. Not with the guns, but I mean the
melee combat system.
Combat system. So they really had to revamp that whole system. Maybe they were too ambitious, saying it will be finished within this period of time, and it's not finished yet, or they are still not appeased by the new melee combat system.
From what I've heard about that, from recent journalists that got to play the most recent build, it was improved, the melee combat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at least a good.
But was it improved or was it good?
Because it was clearly improved.
Because CG Projekt Red is known for delivering a game that is finished and not a game like I'm sorry to say it, but like Bethesda that needs 2 years before it's actually bug free and you can play it like it was supposed to be when it got launched. But I mean, just take your time, but don't make these loose and false promises.
Can I talk? I have a feeling that they know the game is good, but if they would release it now, that reviews would say it's maybe too unstable for current gen, and they really want to get like this 90 Metacritic score. They want to succeed. That this game goes in a masterpiece state, as close as possible.
That's the problem with the reputation that they have.
Yeah.
Because they are the developers of The Witcher 3. I mean, if you have that name under your belt, good luck with the next game you make. But people are going to think that the game is better than it actually is, even before it gets released.
Do you think it's going to be better than Witcher 3?
That's a good question. I mean, technology-wise and gameplay wise, technology wise, I mean like what the game can
Game
handle and
mechanics.
can do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, the game mechanics, gameplay wise, yeah, sure, maybe. But a story, a story can, a story doesn't need. When was The Witcher 3 released? In?
2015.
Yeah, so a game story in 2015 or game story in 2020 or 2021. Please don't be 2021. But yeah, there is no difference between there, and it's like we just talked about Watch Dogs. A story makes or breaks a game. The game mechanics can be fun and good, but when there is no real story there, or there, yeah, you know. So
Well,
is it better than The Witcher 3?
yeah, it's going to be subjective, of course, because not everyone likes every story, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you're saying like it's depending on story, that depends also on what type of game it is, because I love, for instance, Doom. Doom has
Mm-hmm.
no fucking story.
No,
You
not at all.
just go kill demons. Well, there is like lore, but all that lore story is locked behind readables and audio logs. It's not told through cutscenes. But the game is fucking fantastic, Doom. It's because of its gameplay, because gameplay, that game is gameplay focused. And Cyberpunk is going to be, well, let's say a little bit more story focused. Well, it's a little bit of both, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
Last of Us, for instance, was very story focused, and that's why it failed, because the story was shit. And the gameplay was okay, but it didn't evolve enough, basically. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you just said. I think that gameplay and story wise, this game really needs to have the perfect balance, because in an open world game like Cyberpunk with its setting, it needs to have a good story, because if it doesn't,
At least interesting.
interesting, yeah.
And good
Look
characters.
look, when you talk about The Witcher 3, you talk about two different things. It was revolutionary in its time when it comes to how they approached open world games and its story. The Witcher 3 had an amazing story. If Cyberpunk doesn't have a great story, or at least an interesting one, the game will be forgotten within this and 2 years, or when CG Projekt Red announces that they are making another game.
Well, what I really loved about Witcher 3 were the side quests, that they were like, they had a lot of importance. Those side quests were not like, go fetch a thing for me or go kill this and then return. Every side quest had some heart in it, like with importance. Yeah. And if I compare that, for instance, with Red Dead Redemption 2, I did think that Red Dead Redemption 2, its writing, just on technical writing skills, is a little bit better. But Witcher Witcher was just good enough, with all the good gameplay and these good written side quests going along with it. But yeah, you're right. The story is important, so we're just going to see. I don't think we have to be afraid of the gameplay with Cyberpunk. I think that's going to be
no.
fun.
That's sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad that it's delayed. We also got, though, a lot of memes out of it. The yellow background of death, of delay. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to this discussion of the delay?
Yeah, not really. I told myself I would not get too excited in a negative way over it anymore. Just wait for another 3 weeks and then.
At least it's 3 weeks. They could
Yeah,
have if it was a if it was a really big problem, they could have just said 2021
Yeah,
right away.
but Max, trust me, I think so many people would cancel their pre-order for the game. That I don't think they
So
will ever make a profit for it anymore.
The problem shouldn't be that big then, I think.
Oh no, what can you fix in 3 weeks with such a big game? This cannot be something something core game mechanic wise, because then you need a lot more than 3 weeks to fix something. So yeah, maybe you're right. Is it maybe some small bugs that they came along when they revamped that melee system? Sure, why not? Just don't delay it again, because I think that the Cyberpunk community will just start a civil war on its own.
Do you know what's funny? There were like 2 games, I believe, coming out in December, smaller games. I think one was like a space adventure game with like controlling your ship in space. Something like Everspace, maybe. Do you know that game?
Yeah.
And there was like a DLC for a bigger other game. I don't know the name of it. They are both delayed right after the delay of Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk got in December.
Yeah, okay. That's actually quite sad for these developers, because they were like, yes, now it's our time. And then Cyberpunk is like, fuck no.
I found that funny, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, we got everything about that topic, I think.
Yeah, I said what I needed to say.
So, for the next topic, I wanted also, we're talking about Cyberpunk's delay, but Far Cry 6 is also delayed.
No.
Do you find that any surprising whatsoever?
Yes, very surprised. No, to be honest, I haven't really been up to date with the Far Cry news. So if you actually didn't tell me that it was delayed, I probably wouldn't have known for another couple of weeks.
I have to say, like, the marketing is almost non-existent. I can't blame you, because it was just a tweet with the delay, and maybe like some big outlets like IGN and GameSpot did some news reporting on it, but it wasn't really like viral or something like that.
So they just tweeted like, "Our game's delayed," or
yeah, they also didn't really give a new release date. What I did hear is that the game is going to it will release after April, the physical year of 2021, which starts after March 31st. So it might be a small delay, even like that it comes out in April or in May. It's not strange, because we haven't seen any gameplay even from that game yet. It's just the
nothing
announcement trailer.
Yeah, and a few screenshots that they shared when they released the trailer. But did we see something from gameplay? No. I suppose we didn't. No.
What were your opinions on Far Cry 6? Are you hyped for it or?
Hyped is much, Max. You know, for a game that doesn't really sell their product at the moment. Yeah, it's a cool setting, and the trailer was actually quite nice. But for saying that I'm hyped for this game,
no, I'm not either. But I am pretty. I did like Far Cry 5. I thought the setting being something different than a tropical setting, because most of the settings that Far Cry take place are very tropical settings. Being in the United States and with more a realistic approach, I thought that was pretty refreshing, in my opinion. I did really love Far Cry 5. Even the story, the story wasn't that great. but when it came to gameplay, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it has great gameplay value. Far Cry games actually always had it. Great gameplay value. With some varying storylines in between.
Far Cry 3 had a...
I remember. Yeah, I just wanted to
was
say, I
good.
remember Far Cry 3 story was great, but this was mainly thanks to the incredible villain you had
Yeah,
in the
Vast.
game.
Was really cool. I don't think they tried to replicate that. They in 4 they tried it, in 5 they tried it, but it doesn't really hit twice, or with the same.
Yeah, I understand what
concept.
you're trying to say. Yeah.
All you have to see what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah, no doubt it will be fun to play, but yeah.
Do you think we will see it? When do you think they will show it again?
We will see something. My predictions are late February 2021. So this year I don't think we will see anything from like gameplay wise or something from
that was supposed to be the release date, at least February. Wasn't there a new Ubisoft event announced for like in the coming months? Or am I wrong? Did the Ubisoft Forward it's called, but I don't know if there's a new.
What's up with Ubisoft and their events? I mean,
they had 2 events. One in September, I think, when they announced Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah, that cheap revamp. Yeah.
And one they had in July. Okay, then maybe it's too soon for a new one. Maybe at the Game Awards or something, that could also be a place where they could show it off.
You could be right. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I don't understand why Ubisoft is hosting so many events. I mean,
yeah, that was all for E3. That was their E3 thing. The 2 forward live streams. So yeah, maybe we will see it next year or at the Game Awards.
Sure.
That's also a topic I want to talk about, but not in this podcast. But in the next podcast, I want to talk about the predictions for the Game Awards.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Then I have some time to think about it because I haven't really been that into it.
Do you have anything else for the delay for Far Cry 6?
Nah, not really, because I was not really really watching the game. Not watching the game. I mean, my eye wasn't really on the game. Let's say it that way. I wasn't really that into it.
So now we come to a big one. We're going to talk about the next gen coverage about Xbox versus PlayStation. What we think so far. Of course, we know that basically everything now. We know the launch exclusives. We know the price. We know what's inside the specs. And we know the release dates. So Xbox Series S and X is coming out 10 November. Yeah. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And PlayStation is going to come out the 12th in America and 19th for the rest of the world. Even though I already saw today, like, the street date broke for, like, someone in Portugal got an Xbox already and Series X. And I saw another one not too long ago, also someone with a Series S.
That's so strange. That's so strange. Just like imagine that you're sitting at home now and the mailman comes at your door and he is like, I have this package for you. And you're like, huh? And you opened it and it's your PlayStation or your Xbox. It's coming out over a week. Why would they even do it? I mean,
Yeah.
why are they already shipping it?
Well, breaking street dates is not something new. That with games, I have seen this a lot of times happening. I remember with Kingdom Hearts, this was the case. With Final Fantasy, that happened. Where people just get sometimes these copies far too early, especially for some reason in the Middle East. I don't know if there is something in the Middle East that they get their games far faster than here. But
Let's move there. Let's go to the Middle East.
yeah, which console did you have probably seen unboxing videos and testing videos. Which console has impressed you the most so far?
Which console impressed me the most? That's actually a good question. When it comes to the general console brought out by Microsoft and Sony, I have to give Sony the advantage above Microsoft, because Microsoft, for the better or not, that's another discussion, but you're working with two different consoles, whilst Sony has one main console.
Yeah, the digital version, but that just doesn't have a disc tray.
Yeah, but it has the same specs.
Yeah.
Whilst again, for the better or not, that's another topic. But Microsoft is having two different consoles, so time only will tell us if this has been a good choice by the engineers at Microsoft, or not. So, but at this time of moment, my advantage goes when it purely comes to the console, goes to Sony. Even though the Xbox Series X is a little bit more powerful than the PlayStation 5.
I have seen a lot of these testing videos of booting up the system and loading speeds of games. They are both great. The Xbox Series X, the SSD in there is maybe not as good as the PlayStation's, but it's fucking fast all the same. It's like it boots up games from like released in this generation so fast. So what I have seen from previews, like journalists got already, and YouTubers got already their PlayStation 5 and their Xbox Series X both sent to them, and they all say that the PlayStation 5 controller is the real most next gen thing about the system. They are very
but it's
excited about that controller.
Okay.
Well, I was interested. Let me explain. So I was interested in that. So I looked up some of my favorite YouTubers. Yongye has a very good video on it, and he is testing the controller on a level of Astrobot. Astrobot is the game you get with the PlayStation 5. And that game is designed to use the features in the controller. And the amount of vibration that... So basically, when the character is walking on sand, you feel a difference than that he's walking on wood. And then that he's walking on metal. And I was like, how the fuck do they do that? You know? But that's not the only thing. When you push, for instance, an object in the world with physics, you also feel that next to the fact that he's walking. I don't know how the fuck they do that. With special HD rumbling. I don't actually know how that works. Do you know that?
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
And the coolest thing also are the triggers. there is like a part in the level where you have to jump from one platform to the other. It's basically a platformer. And they do this with like a oh god, English word. With a spring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean then?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Dutch word here, een veer.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the English people here, but a spring basically. And when you push the trigger, there's a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
And there's even like differences in resistance. You can jam the trigger that you cannot pull it in, or you have like this like very slow pressure, or even something in between. That's how like detailed that is. Isn't that really weird? It's really hard to, of course, to like demo it for others. We will have to need like to have the controller in our hands to know for sure how it feels. But that so many people are raving about that, it makes me a little bit excited. I will have to admit that.
Okay, but let me ask you one thing, because I have seen actually quite a few opinions pass by about this controller, and you are right. I mean, when vibration in your controller was a feature on the PlayStation 2 with your DualShock, this was something big. This was something great. But my question is, do you find these features more interesting than the performance boost that your console has graphical wise?
Oh no, but at least PlayStation tries something. You know, Xbox doesn't even do that. And this is something new. I have never seen this type of rumble features in any of the past controllers whatsoever. So
yeah,
that's
sure,
that's why I'm a bit excited, you know.
But that's a nice feature that Sony implemented in their controller. That's a fact. But you also have to ask yourself: will developers actually invest time and resources into programming a whole new system for it in their games as well? Because don't forget it has to be implemented in the games as well, otherwise it just won't work. Will developers take time for it? And will they make resources available for it?
That depends, of course. I already know that the game, what's it called? It's a third-party game, Deathloop, from Bethesda.
Yeah.
They will be using the jamming feature in the gun. That if the gun's jammed, that you cannot push the triggers. So
that's quite cool. Yeah.
I think you will be right that like the exclusives that Sony makes are going to be using these features more. Of course, I will agree to that. But if there are just some third-party developers like Call of Duty, I'm saying something like, you know, if they take that and put a little bit of effort towards it, it makes a little bit for more immersion. I hope that they use these tools. I really do.
I do as well. I mean, it's a nice, how can I say it? It's
we don't know how difficult it is either to implement those. Maybe it's not that difficult. I don't know.
Maybe it's quite easy for sure. And it's a nice add-on. But for me, and this is for me personal, so don't take any objections on it. But for me personal, it is not a make or break for a console that it has haptic feedback on your controller. It's a nice add-on for sure. Yeah. But a controller is a controller on the end of the day. A console is not great, and it's not made or break by its controller. It's made, or it has been broken by the games and by the the services
English
it
Ben,
has
come on, you
provided as
can
well.
do it.
Yeah. It's
It's
a
not.
fucking controller,
Yeah,
Max.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
the fuck does it make a difference?
Well, at least
Okay.
they try.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. Yeah,
and I am one of the people that's a bit disappointed by Xbox, their controller, not doing a lot of innovation in it. Like, I mean, they could do something. Well,
yeah. The Xbox controller lays a little bit more nice in your hand, and that's it. And they are like, okay.
I also got impressions that the PlayStation 5 controller almost is just as comfortable as the Xbox 360 controller.
Yeah, they
which
smoothed out the edges a bit, or
which
not?
is the best controller, most comfortable controller I've had in my hands. If that's true, then I'm going to be a very happy man.
Yeah, like when you take a look at the pictures and you fuck, I forgot the word. Oh, wait a second. And you compare. Whoa, holy shit! You compare and you compare the PlayStation 4 controller with the PlayStation 5 controller. You see that the edges are actually quite smoothed out a lot more. So for laying more easy in your hands, I think they really went a step further this time.
The extra mile.
The extra mile, the extra step. Yeah, you're sure. And I won't deny that the PlayStation 5 controller actually looks quite badass. And if it works with this, is it called haptic feedback or
Yeah.
what was it called? Yeah,
Haptic feedback and the resistant triggers, I believe.
yeah. It is cool. Yeah. I'm just asking myself how many developers will actually use this.
I will send you a link from the YouTuber I'm talking about after the pod. You can watch that after the podcast. It's a really interesting video. But yeah, I find that a really cool thing though. The UI for both consoles are also shown. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I love the Xbox UI. Not gonna lie, big fan of it. The PlayStation UI looks great as well. I'm only a little bit doubtful about because with PlayStation 4 you can implement your own. Yeah, not implement your own, but you can use other themes from games. I haven't heard anything about this on the PlayStation 5, or am I missing something?
No, that's not present yet. I don't know if that's going to return.
No, not that this is make or break, but I mean, yeah, it was a nice feature on your PlayStation 4. It gave you that little bit more of a customization, your own personal space.
What I do like, what I hate about the PlayStation 5 UI are these like card system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not I'm not a fan of that or how it looks. Well,
yeah, maybe not in the way how it looks, but having these big pictures and cards with your games in it, I can see a way how. I mean, Xbox has the same. They also have these big pictures for their games and their services that they provide. So, but I do understand that that on the PlayStation 4 it actually looks quite boring.
I'm going to take a look on Google how these look like. I already searched up the Xbox Series X one.
And then the PlayStation Store is yet another story.
Yeah, they are also going to integrate the PlayStation Store in the
general.
Yeah, in the UI itself. So that's not an external app, basically.
Because it was so buggy and so laggy as fuck.
Yeah, it was really bad. I agree, and they say that it's fixed now with this one, and that it's a lot faster. So
Why didn't they actually fix it on the PlayStation 4? I mean, this has been a problem from beginning till the end.
I don't know.
Too lazy, or just it couldn't work with the
Maybe
firmware?
because it's an external app. Maybe they weren't able to do it in the updates or something like that. I don't know.
Or the firmware maybe couldn't support it. Yeah, that's actually a viable option. Yeah. What do you think about the Xbox UI?
I think it looks good. Let me take a look again. Yeah.
I thought you could change the color of the background. I mean, of the
it looks better.
Color strips.
Looks better than the Xbox One version. I had a hate for the Xbox One UI, the original. It was very cluttered.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and it was not clean whatsoever. Now that I'm like looking at the Series X version, I do think they took a note from Sony with the line structure that the games are next to each other, which is good. Yeah. That's a little bit more clean.
It's more clean, yeah. They had a whole video introducing where is what, what's doing what. The same as that PlayStation did for their PlayStation 5.
PlayStation also, we didn't talk about this. They also have this like help feature that if you are stuck on a specific level, that you can like use these tutorial videos that they deliver with the game. So, for instance,
really
if you are one game that's going to use this feature is Demon Souls, and as you know, like Demon Souls is hard as shit. Yeah.
Souls game.
That's I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if I would like use it myself. I don't think I will. Would you like use it?
Nah, I'm not really a fan of looking up how I need to do something.
Normally, I don't either, except for like if I am stuck with a puzzle and I'm like 1 to 2 hours on it, then I will get like frustrated and it wastes my precious time, I guess. Yeah, it's a neat feature, but again, it depends like how third-party developers are going to actually use it. They are probably going to be lazy and just not make content for it. Knowing EA and Activision and Ubisoft.
Maybe it's community driven. So maybe they will like be like, hey, you can you do something for us?
Oh, that could be. I don't know if that is community driven. That would be interesting.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, there are, I think, a lot of people who would actually record it and make some helpful
tutorials,
tips for little tutorials about for different levels. Maybe, I don't know. Or is it maybe only for developers that they can implement it on certain milestones?
Do you see like anything bad with these consoles that you're afraid of?
I made some. I said something about this before. And I still read it till the day of today, is that people are a bit skeptical about the Xbox Series, comparing the Xbox Series X with the Xbox Series S. I'm not worried about anything. I mean, I think the hardware can handle it, but I'm just curious about how developers will approach this. If they will say, we will develop a game based on the Xbox Series S and then upgrade it for the Xbox Series X with its more graphical performance that it has. Or that after some time, because this will be the case in the beginning, I imagine, for a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years. But I'm a bit afraid that after that, maybe developers will drop the Xbox Series S, and that they will only develop games for the Series X, because it maybe that the Series S can't really keep hold of the pace of the graphical performance that the Series X and the PlayStation 5 can handle. So maybe a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah, the bottleneck thing. Yeah, that's just something we have to see in the future. But is there like anything specific that you're afraid of with the console itself? Maybe overheating or
No, because I think that consoles in general are really the Xbox Series X tends to get really hot. I saw some videos about its temperatures, but I think that these things are actually quite designed in a way that they release this heat as well. So no, I think that they actually both. So Sony and Microsoft really developed a good
infrastructure,
infrastructure, hardware, composition for their consoles as well. Yeah. Are you a little bit skeptical about something, or do you maybe think that PlayStation has a problem here, or Xbox has a problem there? Or
no, I'm pretty. My I don't think there's anything wrong with these consoles so far. Like maybe like the haptic controllers for PlayStation 5 that they break may be easier.
Yeah. What if it breaks?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Imagine you just told me that there is this function that when your gun jams, you cannot push your trigger anymore. Imagine that it breaks at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking myself.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's good that you. Yeah, I didn't think about it.
What I'm more afraid of is the actual exclusives and the games itself. With Corona delaying everything and production of games, that's going to be slower than previous gen. Even though, at least for PlayStation, we already have for 2021 Horizon, God of War, Ratchet and Clank. So that's already looking pretty good.
Right, good. Yeah.
But everything can get delayed these days. Look at Cyberpunk.
We're not talking about Cyberpunk anymore.
It's more in the games themselves. And are we going to go with this like microtransaction route? Is it going to be worse in the future? That type of stuff. Yeah.
You know, I don't think this is actually a bad something. That there will be more time between games, because then you have more time to play these games. As long as they do not throw it over that microtransaction bridge to capitalize on more resources. Because EA, you piece of shit.
Yeah. So I saw also like a Reddit post that in Germany PlayStation 5 might be coming earlier. Only in Germany, not in the rest of like Europe, which I find weird.
Why is it always something with these Germans? There also always need to be that one special guy in the class, you know?
We are still a professional channel, Ben. Relax. With the jokes. Well, we are not monetized, so so for now it's all right.
It wasn't. It wasn't not really that bad of a joke. I mean, yeah. Why only in Germany and not maybe like also in France or in Belgium or in the Netherlands? Or why only Germany?
Well,
What's so special about
it's
Germany?
the shopping called MediaMarkt in our language. I don't know. I don't think they have one in America. It's only
No.
something for Europe, I think.
Hmm.
That shop is also located here in the Netherlands and Belgium. So maybe they other shops can also
You
please.
are just hoping so hard.
Well, 1 week is a difference, you know.
Yeah, 3 weeks is more of a difference. So yeah, do fucking understand it with time. Hmm?
You are really salty about this delay.
Yeah, I am.
Most of the time I am salty about a delay of a game, but this time you are the most salty one.
Max,
this time.
just think about this. When you had your PlayStation 5, you could be playing Cyberpunk on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do not get salty about this, no? Hmm?
Yeah, for like half an hour, maybe like 2 hours, and then it was gone. Well,
Hmm. Hmm.
like real salty. I'm still, you could say, a little bit salty, but every fan is that. But you know, like real angry, salty. Yeah.
I'm struggling with this for already a week. A week. I cry myself to sleep because Cyberpunk. And then I wake up in tears because of Cyberpunk.
Just don't think about it. Play other games. You know,
Yeah, The Witcher.
then
Almost.
time will fly by a lot faster. So, do you have anything to add to the conversation of Xbox versus PlayStation?
No, just excited for it. Really. Yep.
We will probably be doing unboxings, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have the equipment for that?
Nope.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Nope.
Well, I do, but you can't come to me.
I will record it with my phone and we will see.
You can like have good results if you just have a very controlled environment with a lot of light.
My basement. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or do that. Yeah.
Complete darkness. So, hello guys, this is my Xbox.
With the most shitty microphone.
No, I have nothing to add. You?
No, I think yeah, I'm just excited that we are close now. I have a timer on my phone.
Oh
Let's take a look at that. 14 days, 2 hours and 25 minutes. So, okay. We have one more topic that I wanted to talk about. At this moment, the US elections are busy.
Oh, are we getting political right now?
Well, normally I wouldn't. Yeah, A-size is not supposed to be political.
No, we are neutral.
Political.
We are neutral. We do not have any opinions about politics. We are completely neutral.
We aren't really going to go in our politics or what we think. That's not really why I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about this because maybe we could have some impact if Trump would win. But it's at this time it's not looking like he is going to win.
I just read he has 40% chance of winning and Biden has 60%, but I think
40.
his chance of winning is a big higher than 60%.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. But what I wanted to talk about, you see now like loot boxes banned in our country, in Belgium, and also in the Netherlands. EA got a lot of problems in the Netherlands. They had a court battle with the gambling. I'm just going to call it gambling society. If I would,
Society.
it's a gambling organization of the Netherlands. I can't say the Dutch word, but no one would understand what it would mean if you are not Dutch. So, they have to pay. Well, I think it was 100,000 a week, up until 5 million for FIFA microtransactions. Because FIFA was not playing by the Dutch rules that it's targeted towards minors, which is a big no-no, of course. But I was thinking, like, could we get loot boxes banned if Trump was elected? Because I guess there is a bigger chance with a right-winged president and, than a right-wing government than left-winged. I think you have some opinions on that, haven't you?
Trump being a Republican, being more conservative, being more right-winged, is, in my opinion, more reluctant to gambling and the problems that bring gambling with them, and especially when it comes to children and especially minors. Minors and gambling is a combination that's not supposed to work, supposed to be. EA is really capitalizing on this because, especially with their FIFA franchises, because you want to back Messi and you want to back Ronaldo, and if you don't back him, you will spend more money because eventually, in your minds, when you're still a minor and you're still a kid, eventually you will back him. A lot of money goes to waste to something that actually doesn't represent anything. And in my opinion, someone like Trump would be quicker to ban
loot boxes,
a loot box system in any way or form, but especially because we now took EA as an example with FIFA. I think he would be quicker to ban this loot box system, this form of gambling, than, for example, a more progressive left-winger like Biden, in my opinion.
Because I think it would make more sense. It's just more, he is conservative, and most of the time conservatives tends
just leave it.
Are more worried about the safety of people, I guess, right?
In this topic, for sure, yeah.
So you are right, I think. If Biden would do it, then I wouldn't be like against that. If he would, would you?
No, because it doesn't matter who it does.
No.
If it just if it happens, I don't care if Trump does it or if Biden does it. Someone really needs to take a look at this because there is a lot of money going to waste. And I take myself as an example. A few years ago, I did it as well. I spent as well money in this loot box system.
Ben had a little addiction.
From EA, no, I had no addiction. But yeah, I as well spent a little bit of cash on that FIFA packs, But that's a big problem because once you spend €5, the next €5 is spend it more easily than the previous one. And this is like a system when you go downwards in a spiral and you can't come out of it. And for children, this is actually quite dangerous.
Yep. That's what they aim for. It would be nice, not just nice, it would be great if United States would ban loot boxes, one of the biggest gaming markets. Then we would actually see change of like these big publishers if they can't get any more money out of it.
I hope it really will wake up EA. I really do. Maybe they will find other ways to how can I say it?
Just honest game making, like the old days.
Like the old days, but I'm really getting scared that these old days, the gaming of the old days, it has come too far. I think game developers saw how easily they can capitalize on microtransactions. That this is a steady form of income for them, and this will not be something that they will just drop because we asked it nicely.
Yeah, that's why we have to fight against it, as much as we can. But it would be nice if the United States would do something about it, and then also like, I don't want to say that other countries would copycat it, but they would take an example. They would see like, United States also like banned that, we should take a second look at this either,
As long as it, in my opinion, there only has to be one country that remains open to this kind of income for game studios. As long as there's one country left that accepts this, they have a source of income from it. So in my opinion, it's the whole goddamn world that needs to say, just stop it. Just get your money elsewhere.
If a very small country like Luxembourg, if that would be the only country that would accept loot box games, I don't think EA would say, let's make a loot box game just for Luxembourg,
No, they won't. But Max, just tell me, how much does a loot box? How much does it cost for EA to, let's say, I don't know if you know, but EA has these for FIFA. They have these lightning rounds, So there are different kind of packs. You have bronze pack with bronze player, silver pack, gold pack, gold premium, and then you have these.
What's the fucking difference between gold and gold premium?
So you also have gold jumbo packs. These are the sizes and the chances that you get for getting a gold rare player, and so they have this system with the lightning rounds that certain packs get sold for only a small amount of time. So EA sells 60,000. And they call it 50k. So these packs cost 50,000 coins that you can get in game, but you can also buy them with real cash, with FIFA points. So they sell about maybe, let's say, 100,000 packs in an hour. For them, this is pure revenue.
Yeah.
Tell me, on these 100,000 packs, how much does it cost EA to release 100,000 packs on FIFA?
Yeah, not a lot.
Let me tell you.
It's just a system.
Zero.
It's just a system that they have to create, and then it makes money on its own.
Yeah, it costs them zero, and they get millions out of it.
Well, they still have to pay the coders that make it. I guess.
Because they have the system since FIFA 14.
Okay, yeah, FIFA basically the same game every year. So,
Yeah.
but
So
there are other other
games.
publishers,
Yeah.
studios that make different games with different
Mm-hmm.
loot box mechanics. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Overwatch
in
had it as well.
FIFA's case, it's just the same. Yeah.
It's getting worse and worse every year, and people are so sick and tired of it, and they're like, no, this year I won't buy FIFA because it's the same like every other year. And then it's like release date, and they're like, oh my god, look, I bought FIFA.
But why?
I don't know. This is the first year that I passed on FIFA as well. Because I'm just so sick and tired of them just copy pasting their game and changing the 0 to a 1, and then tada, you have FIFA 21. Okay, maybe it's not that shallow, but
Yeah, it's sad. But it's not just FIFA. It's basically every sport game that's just this shitty, and not just EA, but also like 2K that make the NBA games, the basketball games, and I think what's the football like in American term? You know what I mean? That sport.
NFC or something.
NFL.
NFL, yeah, NFC.
I think. Oh.
Yeah, NFL, yeah, National Football League. I don't know jack shit about it, but yeah, you're right. NFL.
All these games have this big microtransaction problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think sport gamers are also just stupid to accept it constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do understand that you can't change the core game mechanics of a football game. Football is the same. Football is the same in 2020, and it's the same in 2021. But to be so lazy and just be like, oh yeah, same game as last year, just republish it for $60 and people will still buy it.
But the audience, like the sport gamer audience, they keep buying it.
Yeah,
why?
It's the same for NFL, and it's the same for hockey, and it's the same for basketball, and it's the same for.
I think we just like need to educate the sports gamers more as well, on some type of way. They are like maybe too casual of gamers, you know. They only play these sports games, and they don't care about these mechanics. They just pay once for like NFL or NBA, and they want to play, you know. Oh well.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It's just shit world. Capitalism on its finest.
It works. It just works.
At least Todd Howard makes something.
Makes everything work.
16 times to the detail. I love that man.
16 times.
All right. So, do you have anything to add to this U.S. president?
No.
Microtransaction topic.
I just hope that something will change eventually. And for the rest, yeah, it's not in our control. So.
All right. So I guess we are done then. Yeah. Normally, in the future, I would like to do also some questions, answering some questions, but we don't have any questions. Maybe the next time we should ask questions to people on social media, and then we can answer them in the podcast. Would be fun. So we talked, I think, for 2 hours. Yeah.
This is enough. I'm going for a drink, I think. My mouth is dry.
Me too. I really feel like my throat is tired.
I'm talking so much.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun podcast. We will see you guys in the next video. or podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Same for you. Same as always. Bye, guys.
Bye.